Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to look at Uber's third quarter. I think it's the third quarter earnings. Uber, for the first time ever, has become profitable. So let's give it a little loud round of applause for Uber becoming profitable for the first time ever and the first ride share to become profitable, right? Now, with that being said, let's take a look at their earnings. Let's take a look at what they said and what does this mean for investors. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, you already know what time it is. Go ahead and make sure. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Hit that like, comment, and share button. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, you are now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. And as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys and girls don't have a lot of time. So let's get straight to it. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, this is Uber's earnings. For the first time ever, Uber reports a profit. Right here, they released today, a couple hours ago. It said Uber announces results for the third quarter 2021. Now, this is not overly surprising. If you remember, Uber jumped about 10% about a month or two ago because they came out and said, hey, we think we might be profitable by the fourth quarter, if not the third quarter. I knew right then and there that it probably was going to be profitable. So it wasn't a big shock today when they report their first profit. The reason why this is so important because their competitors are Lyft. The number one competitor is Lyft, who was first. Lyft came out first before Uber, but you had Lyft, you got DoorDash, you got so many, let me bring you food. I don't know. Every time I turn on my phone or whatever, somebody else, and they are the first one to become profitable. If you tune into this show, you know I've been following this company stock for a while, and they did exactly what I kind of expected them to do, that it was the biggest, baddest name in their space, and they're showing it right here with the numbers. So let's read and see what they got to say. Uber announces results for the third quarter. Gross bookings reach an all-time high of $231 billion, up 57% year over year. Net loss of $2.4 billion with a $2 billion net headwind from revaluation of Uber's equity investments. Okay. Adjusted EBITDA of $8 million with mobile margins of 5% of GB and delivery approaching break even. All right. So November 4th, Uber says right here that gross bookings grew. They're saying their revenue grew 72% year over year to $4.8 billion. At a current basis, revenue benefited $123 million. Occurred release for the resolution of historical claims of the UK related classifications of drivers. Okay, they're saying their mobile rate, they had a mobile rate of 22.3%, included 123 base points. Positive impact in the UK occurred release. They had a net loss attributed to Uber's was $2.4 billion, which included a $2 billion net headwind pre-tax reevaluation of Uber's equity investments. I think this one was for the I can't remember the name of that company. When they got the liquor company, the DIDI, I can't DIDA, whatever you want to call it. So let's see here. Let's see what they got to say here. They said on earlier and decisive investments in driver growth are still paying dividends. So they're saying their earlier and decisive investment in driver growth are still paying dividends, with drivers steadily returning to the platform, leading the future involvement in the consumer experience, says their CEO. This, I'm not even going to try to say his last name. This is especially important as mobile regains. Mobile global bookings are up 18% over just the last 2 months, and this Halloween weekend suppressed the 2019 levels. So I guess Halloween is a big deal for Uber. All right, I hear you, Halloween. He said, we recognize this just a step. Reaching total company adjusted EBITDA profitability is an important milestone for Uber. He said, while we recognize it's just a step, reaching a total company adjusted EBITDA profitability is an important milestone for Uber, says the CFO. Not only did our mobile business recover to pre-COVID margins this quarter, our restaurant delivery businesses was profitable on adjusted EBITDA basis for the first time as well, bringing the full delivery segment close to the break even. All right. So right here, their outlook for the rest of the year. They're looking at they put out their outlook for gross booking to be 25 billion to 26 billion, adjusted EBITDA of 25 billion to 75 million, no, 25 million to 75 million. So they're looking to become a little bit more profitable by the end of the year. So they're saying a minimum of 25 million. So we'll see that. This here is what makes stocks jump in the aftermarket and things like that. They're saying their outlook for the rest of the year, they're looking at a 25 million to 75 million outlook. Now they report their adjusted EBITDA probably what we're in right now, November. So they'll probably report their next quarterly earnings in February. If they're at 100 million, the stock jumps, right? Because they suppress their high end. If they're closer to their high end, this is what will make people go, oh, wow. So this is their projection. They're saying at the low end, but on the low end, if they're closer to the low end or below 25 million, this is when you're going to see stocks start to flutter, right? So here we go. Right here, they reported all of their finances. You can take a look at that. I don't want to go through all of their finances. Then this is where they make their money from. Mobile. It's no one place they make money. Dropping people off, giving them a ride, all the type of good stuff like that. And then delivering people's food, going to restaurants and, ordering that Uber Eats, I don't know, Burger King or whatever, and get it brought to you. And then freights. You rarely hear anything about the freights, but they're here too. I think they're at $400 million in 2021. And they did, delivery is beating out everybody right now. Uber Eats. So delivery is Uber Eats. Mobility is the ones that people go out and get rides, and your freights are your freights. So right here, you're looking at them jumping up. They're making the money. So they got the numbers to back it up. All right, Uber, we see you dropping these gems today. All right. So right here, let me see what y'all say in the comments here. Let me get out of here. Unpopular Thought said, I'm here for financial advice. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't sue me. This is not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a financial education, literacy type of show, all right? Here we go. Brock N, what's going on? I think Brock N is out there in Canada. What's going on, Brock N? He said, Prince, good evening to you as well. LLJ, that's my guy down in my hometown. Darrell, what's going on, my guy? He says, what's up, Prince? I was just looking at my Uber stock tonight. Awesome. Yes. So right now, this is what you've seen happen, right? Let's go right here. This is my guy, Max B. What's going on? He always in here, man. Let's give a shout out to Max B. Always in here supporting me no matter when I come live, man. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. All of you guys for coming in here live, no matter when I come on to tune in. That really means a lot, all right? The most random and unscheduled show on the web. So I just got through doing a show out in Hawaii, and now here I am, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it. We just went through Uber's earnings. They just released their earnings today. They just got to their break-even profitable point for the first time ever, and they're looking to have an adjusted EBITDA of 25 million. Now, when you see companies like this, I'm gonna give y'all a story about myself that I did that was dumb, maybe smart, but you can learn more from a person's mistakes than you can from their wins. The worst thing an investor can do is to make money from doing something wrong. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happened. I will give you guys two companies. Y'all heard of Fortnite? I've spoke about Fortnite, the cybersecurity company, so many times, right? And then I had CrowdStrike. So I had CrowdStrike, and then I had Fortnite, cybersecurity space. I wanted to get involved in it. They were both running about the same price. CrowdStrike had all the momentum, but it didn't have the finances to back it. It was new and it was hot and it had the momentum behind it. Fortnite was a financial juggernaut, but it didn't move like that. Fortnite didn't move like CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike didn't have the finances, but it was just running to the moon. Fortnite was kind of a juggernaut that kind of moved slowly. So I said, financially, I'm going to grab Fortnite. I had Fortnite, and I'm just watching CrowdStrike just jump up every single day, just going to the moon, right? And I said, man, let me get some of this CrowdStrike. So I brought some CrowdStrike. I started making money on CrowdStrike. I said, let me put some more money in the CrowdStrike. I made more money on the CrowdStrike. So I said, man, what am I sitting here holding this Fortnite for? Yes, it got strong finances, but, look at CrowdStrike. It's on its way to the moon. Sold my Fortnite, put more money in the CrowdStrike. I believe me not, I turned around and just out of the blue, it seemed like people caught on to Fortnite, and Fortnite just took off to the moon eventually. This goes back to the story what Warren Buffett said. Always follow the finances. Like right now, Uber is at $45. Here it is, the biggest and the baddest in this space. Lyft costs more than Uber. DoorDash costs more than Uber stock price wise. And guess what? It is $45. It just reported for the first time ever a adjusted EBITDA. That's EBITDA stands for earnings before taxes, something else, whatever. I can't even think it off the top of my head. Earnings before taxes, interest, and something else, right? So they reported the first one ever in their space. So they're that financial juggernaut, but you don't see them running off to the moon like you see these other companies. And with this time here, I'm going to stay with this company because I know the finances will reveal. It might be a month, it might be a quarter, it might be 2 quarters, it might be a year or whatever, right? But I remember that story of following the finances, and the finances, the market would eventually get it correct. All right. That's my thought on that before I get out of here. Max B said, what are your thoughts on SCAR? That's going to have to be a different episode so we can look into that one. We're going to have to be a different episode, Max. All right. Sorry about that. I don't even know what buttons to hit. Unpopular Thought said the best thing you can do is hold, but you have to have money you don't need to touch. That's the hard part. That's true. What happening is while this market is moving and you see everybody's going, you're going to say, man, I have money sitting in something that's not doing as well. I want to jump into Microsoft, hot company. I want to jump into Apple or whatever, right? So that's what people like to look at and think about. So those are the things I like to put in the mental space of, being able to stay where you are, stay where you put. Because in a down economy, I always tell people cash is king, no matter what nobody says. So you never want to be in a position where you can't buy. I forgot what book I was reading that said it perfectly. It was like an investor not having cash is like a store not having inventory. So imagine going into a convenience store and they don't have any food on the shelves. So they can't even, sell anything to a customer. That's how it is as an investor not having cash in your portfolio. Al, what's going on, Al? Al, that's my guy, always holding me down. He's out here in Denver, Colorado. What's going on, Al? Nice to see you, bro. Brock in, he says, what's your opinion on gold metals holders? Man, I've always been suspicious of gold and metal. I've always listened to, the Peter Skypes of the world. Hopefully I said his name right. Who's the gold guy? He hogs up all the gold and he says the world is going to come to an end. And he's right every 10 years. But you looked at last year when we had our big market crash, gold did start to come up. A lot of people did run into gold, but it wasn't worth it. It's like gold is, they said, a reserve capital, and all of a sudden it runs up, every 10 years when the stock market crash, it runs up, then it goes back down, then it waits for a while, then it runs up. So me as a young investor who's thinking about growth, gold is something that currently, no, I'm good. I don't want to hold it. That's my thoughts. Patience is virtual. You're right. Al said patience is virtual. You're right. He's dropping them gems. So that's true. So sometimes when you look at your company, you're like, man, but when you read those finances and those finances, and just like today, we just only read that press release part for the show because I got to get out of here. I just got through doing like a 45-minute show that y'all probably going to see tomorrow with the intelligent REIT investor, Mr. Brad Thomas from Seeking Alpha, and he's the Forbes real estate guy. So, and he teaches at NYU. He's been on the show a couple of times. So it's great to have him on. So y'all stay tuned to get that book that I'm going to give away of his. Like y'all know, I always do. LLJ said, finally getting a chance to read the mentor's book, Action Has No Season. He said, your mentor's book, Mr. Michael V. Roberts. Okay, Action Has No Season. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, you read Mr. Michael V. Roberts as an African-American man. Michael V. Roberts is there, and Robert Smith are my top two guys that I look at as, yes, I know athletes, and yes, athletes are cool. I'm going to be interviewing another athlete who's pretty cool in his hometown here soon. But they're cool, but it says something about I look up to African-American men who can do something smart and not have to be in entertainment. No, nothing wrong with being a comedian, an actor, or athlete. Nothing's wrong with that. But I'm not a comedian, an actor, an athlete. I'm not a funny guy. I may look a little funny, but I'm not a funny guy. I'm not an athletic guy. I'm not going to tackle nobody. I'm not going to dunk on nobody. So to see Kobe Bryant, shouts out to Kobe Bryant. He invested in the body armor, and Coca-Cola brought it from body armor. That's great to see. But, Kobe Bryant is 6'6", can jump out the roof and can shoot a basketball. I can't. What if you're a regular guy with good intelligence? So that was good about Mr. Michael V. Roberts, something I always respected about him and his brother, how they rose to prominence just off of their brains alone. And also Mr. Robert Smith, who's from Denver, who I haven't had the opportunity to meet yet. the private equity guy who started his own private equity firm. So that's why they're on my Mount Rushmore. Michael V. Roberts. You got to have Michael V. Roberts. You got to have Robert Smith. You got to have Warren Buffett. Those at least 3 people that are definitely on my Mount Rushmore of mentors in the business environment and world, to see people do great things like that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys and girls got some. I see everybody's tuning in here. I thank y'all for tuning in. But, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go. I got things to do. I got an early morning tomorrow, and I have to get some studying done tonight. But I love each and every one of you guys and girls around the globe. Thank y'all for tuning in. Don't forget to grab your Investor Show mug while you read Action Has No Season. And also, don't forget, for this holiday season, grab that Wesley Learns book series. Wesley Learns to Invest, Wesley Learns about credit, and Wesley Learns about insurance. They are available on Amazon. The paperbacks are available on Amazon. They also got the ebooks, and you got the audio on Audible, and you got the hardcover books only available on lulu.com. So you got a hardcover, paperback, ebook, and audio. And you can check out the cartoon here on YouTube, however you want it. Thank y'all for the support. And until the next video, podcast, cartoon, or whatever else crazy and goofy y'all see me do around the world, y'all already know my name. I'm Prince Dykes. I'm the Prince of Investment. Peace. Be safe. I'm out.